It's Monday. It's Mark Pyers. And it's real.
I was walking down the road today, looking for another way to ease my mind and help my living.
It's Real Talk. It's the daily variety show, Mark Pyers Real Talk. I'm here to help you make smarter moves, to amplify your current state. And I'm here with you on day 378 in a row of the Mark Pyers Real Talk show. And very quickly, if you can give me a second, I got to turn the speaker on because it's not working right now. There we go. Now I can hear myself in stereo. I like to be able to hear myself in stereo. Michael, thank you, my friend, for tuning in and liking the video. I love it when Michael tunes in. Guys, we're here, day 378 in a row. Mark Pyers. Oh, hold on. Let me shut off the volume. I can see all comments right now. My man, Michael. Mighty Mark, I like that. Thanks, pal. You know, all I want to do is show you guys that it is possible to do something. If you have your mind on something, all you have to do is start. Literally, just start. And what you'll find is momentum starts to just happen. It becomes something. Your idea grows into an actual beast of a thing. And what started small becomes just powerful. And you become braver, and you become more comfortable, more confident, and therefore, I think, happier. I think our confidence is the start of our happiness. If you could be confident with your decisions and your movements through your days, that is just kind of half of the happiness. You know, the stress and the anxiety of making decisions, of coming to a conclusion on anything is where most of us go wrong. Or what I find myself doing the last couple of days, everybody over on Insta, I put the actual web address there to YouTube. So you can go subscribe and ding the bell and join us. It's crazy when you're here this long and you start to realize it's about starting and then just the process of continuing. As long as you keep going, nothing can stop you. But you can't get anywhere unless you begin. And I could remember moments maybe a year or two ago where I'd stop myself from going live. I had an idea to do something. I said, I don't want someone to not like what I did. I kind of got to a point, I think it was, the December 31st when I just said, I'm going on. And I started to realize you can't please everybody, but you could try to affect a positive change for everybody. That we can do. I don't think you're hurting anybody's feelings by doing that. I think what you're doing actually is playing your part. We have a part to play here. It's not just, hey, we're born and I'm just going to go through my days and then that's it. We have a part to play, something to leave for humanity. Michael's doing his part. I'm doing my part. We got a lot of people over on Insta right now. Head over to YouTube. You guys are rocking. Who's on Facebook right now? I want to say you guys are awesome for continuing with me on this journey. And we're just growing slowly, which is fine by me. I have no intentions of getting to 1 billion people, 1 million people in a day. It's impossible unless I don't even know. I'm going to keep doing my thing, guys. And I appreciate the ones that are joining and spreading the word. I got to tell you, it's kind of a nice thing when because you get a notification when you see someone shared one of your pieces of content. It's rewarding when you're doing something to affect change and you see somebody's that affected. Look, oh wow, I'm going to share this with my people. I like Mark's message today. I'm going to share it with my people because they don't know who Mark is. It's like really awesome when that happens. So I appreciate you. And we got so much planned for this year. I got to have, we're going to have all these people in here for interviews. We're going to have Beat Seat like every day. We had an unbelievable weekend of music. I don't know if you guys tuned in. I put some of it up on my story today. I did something pretty crazy with Brown Eyed Girl, just like a bunch of looping with the Beat Seat. It was just fun. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to drop that for you guys because It's not a piece of motivational content, but what it is just my expression of that song, just, something different. I don't think that's ever been played that way. I've never heard it that way before. The full version is on YouTube. You can go to the Beat Seat page on YouTube and check that out. And you guys head over and share the content, subscribe and ding the bell on the Beat Seat page, on the Real Talk page. We're here every day connecting. I'm here to bring you some light. There's a lot of darkness out there. I gotta tell you, I'm feeling it. This is the beginning of a decade that I plan to take control of. I'm trying to front load. And I'm already getting negativity thrown at me from just all sides. And you guys know I'm filled with positivity. So it really starts to take a toll on me when that happens. When it's, it starts to be, like all angles, you're like, what do I do? Where do I hide? Run. Just get up and run. That's what I do. I get up and I run. I just need to be alone whenever that happens. But I had a great meeting at my office today. It was a lot of positivity in the room. So I'm feeling like everyone's going through similar things at certain points of their year. And I will say one thing. The activity right now is unbelievable. Spring market has begun. Spring market started mid-December. I was out there showing my listings like crazy, just telling people, please keep your home on the market. This isn't the time of year to take your home off the market. Let all of the other silly people that are thinking that's a smart move be smart. The smart move is stay on and get your deal when you have a limited supply. All year round, we're sitting on like overwhelming supply of market where my clients, specifically my buyers, are overwhelmed with the amount of choices. What do I buy? When I'm looking between, I don't know, pick a number, 1.3 and 1.5, and there are 35 homes to choose from, that's hard to make a decision. Well, these 4 were great. When you have less inventory, when you're in I would say more of an even market, it's never good to be a buyer or seller market. Like a right down the middle market is great. The best real estate transactions, the way it works out is both parties kind of feel a little bit of the hurt. Nobody gets exactly what they want. That is the perfect transaction. Both parties give to get to the table. I've been finding the last few years it's mostly buyers taking advantage and sellers who are desperate to get out of the market, and they'll just take what they can. They'll just get out. Oh, some guy's coming on. He's on my doorstep. He's throwing something at me. I guess I'll take it. Hey, Patience. Patience, congratulations on day 13, I believe it is, which I have to say, today is the 13th, guys, and it is my favorite number. 13, let's just think about this. I'm going to break this down a little. I'm a numbers guy. This is the first month of 2020, of the year, of the decade. Today is day 378 in a row. I was born 4/13/78, so effectively the first month, and then 378. It's 1378 today, guys. 1378. And I had a conversation about 13 again today. It came up. You guys know my theory on this. This is per my grandmother. God rest her soul. I miss her so much. Every day I think about my grandma. She had the sweetest voice in the world. But when I was 18, 19, she was living here in New Canaan, and I was in the area building homes with my father. And I would take her to CVS to go and get her, she'd get her Tylenol and she'd get her cookies, and she'd always have like Chips Ahoy, And so I'd bring her to CVS. And a funny story about my grandmother is my aunt was born on June 13th. And for her entire life, my grandmother said the hospital made a mistake. She was born on June 3rd, and they wrote the paperwork 10 days late, and we're not going to pay attention to that. We're going to celebrate her birthday on June 3rd. So her whole life, they celebrated June 3rd. So we're driving in the car one day, and I say, Grandma, let me ask you. You know I was born on April 13th, right? Oh, I don't want to hear it. I said, but what is your problem with 13? She said, well, I don't want to hear it. And I said, Grandma, well, just tell me, why is there a stigma with 13? I don't understand. And so she said, it's very simple. Jesus and the 12 apostles And Judas betrayed Jesus. He was the 13th. I said, no, Grandma. Jesus always put himself before everybody else. So Jesus was the 13th. And when I said that, she started laughing, like stomach, like really at the core laughing. And I think in that moment, I broke through that superstitious belief. And it's almost like that old Dr. Wayne Dyer quote, change the way you look at things. The things you look at change. Your whole life, my grandmother's whole life, she's looking at 13 as a number where Jesus and the 12 apostles and Judas betrayed Jesus. So 13 is a bad number. No, we all know Jesus was selfless. He would always open the door and welcome his 12 friends before he walks through and closes it behind them. It's the 12 apostles and Jesus, not the Jesus and the 12 apostles. Now that's just like basic religious, I think, common sense. But nobody talks about that. They think about Judas being the 12th or the 13th. Number 13, there's no 13th floor in New York City buildings. Can you believe that? I go there all the time just looking for a building. It goes 12 to 14. I'm like, but guys, 13 is awesome. It's the best number. Who out there loves 13? It is the coolest number. Yeah, Patience says Jesus is the 13th. Absolutely. It's not even a question. If you could think about anybody in this world who's selfless, anybody who's out there trying to just give back for no reason, like the Real Talk program, I would put everybody before me. I wouldn't be the first in. I would let my 12 friends through, and then I would close the door behind us. We'd make sure we're safe before I close that door. I don't know. It's something about the way I'm made up, how I'm built, how I'm designed. We're all designed specifically unique. And it depends on how much you believe in yourself, and you'll start to unlock doors you never knew were there. You've been walking down these hallways for years. You didn't even realize those doors were there. They're there. You're just not looking. We're all not looking. We're focused on something that is not even real. Most of the time, it's not even real. It's situational. Oh, well, what if I do this? Or what if they say that? Oh, I wish this went that way instead of this way. Instead of saying, I'm alive, I'm breathing, I feel this right now. I'm going to go with that. I think that's what matters. All the other stuff is confusing me. It's taking me out of my happiness, like this bubble of happiness I want to live in. It's bursting that bubble. And the world around me is only making it worse. That's why that negatube, we've been shutting it off for 378. I'm going to continue. You guys know, hashtag 730 is where we're at right now. The next stop is December 30th, 2020 for day 730 in a row. And then we hit the next year. We're looking at 1095 hashtag. I'm just like so excited to come back out every day and try to be a light when all of the darkness around me is trying to swallow it up. They're trying to get rid of it, guys. Do you know how many people out there are trying to extinguish my light? You have no idea. And that's more of a philosophical statement about shutting out my light. Just not appreciating the value in front of them. This is a world we live in right now. People are so set on what they want, they don't look at the facts. They don't look at what's in front of them, what's being done. And everybody wants what they want, and they're not willing to bend. You have to be willing to negotiate when you're in a real estate transaction specifically. Phil is hilarious. Phil Hall's on, my buddy. He said that there are no fourth floors in Korean buildings. That I did not know. That is pretty cool, Phil. And then he likes bubble baths, and then maybe I do a real talk in a bubble bath. That's an interesting thought. I'm not sure about that one, though, because, you know, here's the thing. I feel like bubble baths, everyone's like, yeah, I need a bath. Like, as a realtor, I got to tell you, the amount of people who are like, I need a bath in my house. I'm like, okay. And then if you take a poll, most people never use their baths. It's crazy. Like you walk in there, it's a brand new bath when you sell it again. Now, I haven't had too many repeat clients. I've only been in this business for 10, 11 years, so I haven't had a ton. But, I've seen it a few times where you walk into a house, you've sold the house to them, and then you go back a few years later and they're taking they're moving out west or something. And it's a brand new tub, but they needed it. Need to have that tub. Nobody uses their tub anymore. You know why? Nobody has the time to relax. They keep us on that wheel. Gotta keep them going, guys. Don't let them stop for a second. So what do we got today? I got some news for you guys. I think we should get into it. It's some good stuff. Hey, how you doing? I appreciate you tuning in on Insta. You guys, I put up over on the top of this chat window the address to the YouTube page. Subscribe and ding that bell. That's where the show goes. And let's see what we got here. Yes. So I got a couple stories for you. I want to see what your impressions are on this. Get some music going. So, U.S. outlines strong support for self-driving cars at CES. This is in Las Vegas, guys. The Trump administration on Wednesday signaled strong support for self-driving vehicles as it released new guidance from federal agencies at the annual CES Tech Conference. U.S. Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao unveiled the administration's latest principles for autonomous vehicles, dubbed 4.0, which she says unifies autonomous efforts across 38 U.S. departments and agencies. The proposal was first reported earlier Wednesday by Reuters. The takeaway from AV 4.0 is that the federal government is all in for better, safer, and more inclusive transportation. Aided by automated driving systems, Chao said, the administration did not endorse new regulatory rules to ensure that automated vehicles are safe. Chao told Reuters, how do you say it, Phil Hall? Give me an idea here. I think it's Reuters. It's Reuters. In a recent interview, that in contrast, the Obama administration's approach was very prescriptive. What does prescriptive mean? And in many ways, it hampered innovation. Well, I've read tape. I do know that's a lot of it was cut. Let's see what else we got here. White House Technology Advisor Michael Kratosis said the principles will help foster an environment for innovators to advance safe AV technologies. I like this because, I'm a tech guy. I like the advancement of technology as long as it is safe. I see that they didn't release any new regulations on safety, which I believe is an issue. I've heard of a few stories. Again, I'm not by any means a advocate or an expert on this, but I've seen a few of these cars that have just taken off into other vehicles or they read something incorrectly. So I think the safety measures for these vehicles have to be, super in tune. Especially you have human error. How do you have a vehicle that is being controlled based on GPS and then some guy driving around swerving in and out? Like that, I don't know. I think you're going to have some sort of Star Wars advanced system inside your vehicle. George Lucas, let's get you on the payroll. Come on, let's create some sort of Star Wars advanced, system so you're going to be safe. Maybe a cloaking system or what am I talking about, guys? I'll tell you what I'm feeling right now, guys. I'm feeling a cold coming on. In the moment, I'm feeling a cold come on. That is weird. I haven't had that happen in a very long time. Petro said that rich people don't use baths or pools. They don't have time. Time is money. It is kind of true that, again, same thing, the pool thing. Everybody wants a pool, but then when you get a pool, the maintenance and just kind of taking care of it. Everything's just a pain with having a pool. And then you barely use it. 3 months out of the year, maybe 3.5 months. So it's clear I'm getting a cold, obviously. But I'm going to just push through it, guys. I'm going to muscle through it. All right? Let's see what else we got here. So this is just good news. I think we're getting closer and closer to having self-driving cars. For better or worse. I think it's sort of better. Michael, what's up, buddy? Michael, have you gone over to YouTube yet? I put the link at the top of the page here. You can check it out and subscribe and ding the bell. Let's see what else we got here, guys. I got another great story for you. This is goes into the category of wackadoo. Let's see what this guy's saying. Ready? Hold on, I gotta interact with this for a second. Give it a little closer look for you. Can you see this guy? All right. So let's check this one out and have a laugh. Fly me to the moon. Japanese billionaire Mazawa seeks girlfriend for a SpaceX voyage. That's right, you heard me correctly. Japanese billionaire Yusaka Muzawa's search for a girlfriend to join him on the voyage around the moon will be the subject of a new documentary program and the latest attention-grabbing stunt by the entrepreneur. 44-year-old Muzawa, who sold his online fashion retailer Zozo Inc. to SoftBank Group, is seeking single females aged over 20 for the show, which will be shown on streaming service Abima TV. As feelings of loneliness and emptiness slowly begin to urge and surge upon me, there's one thing that I think about. Continuing to love one woman, wrote Muzawa on a website for applicants. This is unbelievable, guys. This reminds me of it's like a reverse version of that, you know what I'm talking about, right? Where he pays, Woody Harrelson's Demi Moore $1 million, indecent proposal. Took me a couple seconds there, guys, but I want to find a life partner, is what Muzawa says. With a future partner of mine, I want to shout out our love to the world and peace from outer space. Muzawa is due to fly around the moon in 2023 as the first private passenger with Elon Musk's SpaceX. Muzawa, who recently split up from actress girlfriend Ayami Gorika, has said he plans to take artists on the flight to inspire works based on the experience in a project he dubbed Dear Moon. The documentary titled Full Moon Lovers will stream on Abima TV, which is backed by online ad agency Cyber Agent, and broadcaster TV Asahi. Asashi? I don't know how you say that, guys. And targets a younger audience that is turning away from traditional TV. Everyone's turning away from traditional TV, guys. It's rotten. Applicants must be interested in going into space and be able to participate in the preparation for it and be someone who wishes for world peace. That's what the website says, apparently. So, guys, if you are interested in taking a flight around the moon with billionaire Muzawa, there is an application process. This is interesting. The documentary is the latest high-profile move by the billionaire, who is also giving away $9 million to his Twitter followers to try and spark debate in Japan about the merits of the idea of basic income. So he's obviously doing something for effect. He's getting the effect. I'm talking about it on Real Talk to this nobody who's... Hey, Michael's watching. But listen, Muzawa, he's going around the moon. He's taking some lucky lady. And if you're interested, give him a call or something. I'm not sure if you could text him. You know, everybody, all these entrepreneurs now, it's like, text me. You know, it's like, wow, I see that you could text everybody. You could text anybody now. It's crazy. I'm like, really? I don't know now. It's got to be some sort of service that's doing, you know. Anyway, fly me to the moon. All right, let's move on to the next one. This one I'm really excited about as someone who played Romeo for about a year when I was 18. Check this out. Shakespeare's first folio to be sold at auction in New York in April. This touches my heart and my soul, guys. Check this out. A rare 1623 book that brought together William Shakespeare's works for the first time will go up for auction in April. Christie's auction house announced on Friday. The book, called Comedies, Histories, and Tragedies, is expected to sell for between $4 and $6 million. Widely known as the First Folio, it is the one of only 6 known complete copies in private hands. The First Folio contains Shakespeare's 36 plays, including several that had never been published before and might have been lost without it, such as Macbeth, The Tempest, and As You Like It. It was compiled by friends of the writer after his death. Max, how are you, buddy? The copy coming up for sale will be displayed on tour starting next week in London before heading to New York, Hong Kong, and Beijing. Is it in that order? I don't know. It will be returned to, I guess so, it will be returned to New York for auction on April 24th. The book is being sold by Mills College, a private liberal arts college in Oakland, California. The record auction price for a First Folio is nearly $6.2 million paid in 2001, Christie said. Now, as far as inflation is concerned, why is it going to be between 4 and 6? Shouldn't it be more? Like, I don't know. I'm just guessing, though. Michael said he's seeking a girlfriend for his SpaceX mission as well. So you can reach out to Michael over here on Insta, and perhaps he'll allow you on his flight. But Mazawa's doing one. He's going to make it a documentary. Michael, are you doing a documentary on yours? Is it going to be broadcast on CBTV? Where's that going to be? Let us know and we will broadcast it. Or we'll at least pop out a link to it. So anyway, I'm really, really excited to see this just because I personally think, hold on, Mike. That was my script. I found my script recently. This is with all my markups. Look at this. You see, those are my lines right there. I just want to explain something to you. This is a lot. This was a ridiculous amount of Shakespeare to memorize. I loved it. I loved Shakespeare so much. I could read Shakespeare. I love it when people say, I don't get it. I'm like, what don't you get? It's Old English, but you just have to feel it. It's iambic pentameter, so it's musical. I actually turned my monologue in the final chapter, whatever the heck they call it, the final act. I think this is it. I turned my monologue into a song. I had my guitar on stage, sitting Indian style, and I sang a complete monologue from Romeo and Juliet on my guitar. If anybody was in that play with me, you should shout out. Gracie Brown, Ileana, anybody who was in that play with me would be like, yeah, it was really cool. Romeo was a singer-songwriter. That was the concept that we went with. And let me shut this down. Hold on a second. Just shooting here. I'll go over here. There we go. So we went with the concept of Romeo was a singer-songwriter sitting in a cafe. The way Romeo and Juliet started, or at least for me, my first scene is I'm sitting in a cafe with my guitar and I'm entertaining the patrons. Romeo Montague, singer-songwriter. And I'm sitting there, and this was no vocals. The first, it's like 30 seconds just strumming on the guitar. And then all of a sudden Benvolio is like, Romeo! And then we go into the play. And then the next, an hour and a half later, when I get to, I'm banished, and I'm sitting there with my guitar and I'm singing a song about my love and how much I can't wait to get back to her. And it came out in song, and it was this really, really positive, upbeat tune. And I don't know, it's just like this, the words, they flow when it's already written in a beat. I could write this entire thing into a musical. Why don't I do that? Why don't I write R&J into a musical? Because it's so easy to do. I mean, I'm just going to grab something out of here so you guys can see. This is my first couple of lines. Is the day so young? Ay me, sad hours seem long. Was that my father that went hence so fast? I'm going to read some Romeo and Juliet for you right now. Let's do it. Let me give you a little something here. Ready? I just loved Romeo. Like, I totally, like, the passion I have for everything I do. Like, when I took this script and I read these words, it was so real. I remember there were 3 points in this play that I felt the script could bring tears out of Romeo if I played it correctly. I never understood this whole, method acting thing. Like, I would never want to be saying my lines and be thinking something really miserable and terrible in order to get myself to a place where I can maybe cry. I think the words should bring it out. The script should make it happen. And it only happened once. I performed this for a year, and once the tears came. Like, just, I hit myself. We had guns. It was like this whole urban type of setting. And I remember there's the one scene where, Tybalt dies by firearm. And while I'm going over what happened and how this is going to destroy my marriage to my new wife, I went through this like breakdown. And this was in the round. Our first R&J was in a round. We had people all around us. You could not play out. You had to constantly be moving because there was somebody looking at your back all the time. It was the most challenging way to play Shakespeare, and we did it well. And it was all done with lighting. The balcony scene, it was done with lighting. I was looking up, and Juliet was on the ground, and she's looking down. It was just all effect. In this one scene, I heard people in the crowd go, because I hit myself with it was like a faux gun, it was made of wood or something. And I remember while I was freaking out about what I had done, I went like this with the gun and hit my head really hard. And I was just so into the moment. And a good script will do that to you. A good script will bring it out, will make that actual moment, that emotion happen, and it will feel real because it is real, like real talk. You cannot script something and then try to script the emotion in. You can't script the tears into this. It will happen if it's meant to happen. So let me see. There's one other thing I'll share. Let me read a little something to you here. You need to hear a little Romeo and Juliet. This is such a beautiful script. I wish I had the 1675 folio that they're about to auction off for $4 to $6 million. Let's see what we got here. You guys all know this one. This is the famous line everyone's used to hearing. Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night as a rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear. Beauty too rich for use and for earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove, trooping with crows as yonder lady o'er her fellows shows. The measure done, I'll watch her place of stand, and touching hers make blessed her rude hand. Did my heart love till now? Forswear its sight. For I ne'er saw true beauty till this night. That's how you read a line! Oh, you want to hear by Edward G. Robinson? Yeah, see? We're going to know a little Shakespeare, see? Yeah. Oh, that's how you read a line, though, guys. I want you to know. I missed that. I missed the moment of taking someone just into that experience. I missed it. The thing that I miss most is hearing a pin drop. The thing I miss most is being right in the middle of a line and letting that natural pause take place and just hearing nothing and just feeling that energy build within me. And it's like this show, too. I mean, even though I don't have anybody here with me, can I do Hamlet? Listen, if I had Hamlet here, I would do Hamlet. Let me see. You know what I should do? Because Phil asked. Let's see if we can find. I got 2 computers to work with. I love my setup here, guys. You guys have no idea how pumped I am. I said it's going to lose its Is Zhuge? No, I'm loving this. Hamlet script. Let's just see what we can find. I'll read some of it to you, my friend. Here's my point. Anybody can read Shakespeare. It just, you may not understand it while you're reading it the first time. But, all right, let's see. Here we go. Where's that one scene? The one that he, the famous scene that Hamlet has. Okay, let's see if I can find it for you guys right here. All right, I'm going to just read you one part here. And again, I haven't read Hamlet in 30 years, 25 years, but I don't know if this is the good one, but let me read some of this and see how it is. Okay, Act 3, is that what I'm looking for? Okay, Act 3. To be or not to be. Okay, let me find that. That's Act 3. I'm going to rock that out for you now because I know that part. I remember when Mel Gibson did that when I was a kid. To be or not to be. Let's see. Let's see if we can find this. You guys are putting me on the spot. I think I found it. Let's see. No? I thought I did. Okay, here we go. Is this, I see he's got a long monologue here. Tell me if this is how it starts, Phil. Ready? He goes like this. Mel Gibson. He said, find Olivier or John Barrymore. Are you sure it wasn't Drew Barrymore? I'm just kidding. All right, let's see. So does it start with this? Look here upon a picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. Is that the start of it? Let me see if I can find the line where it says to be or not to be. I don't think that's the part of it. I do remember that line, but I'm still looking for it, where it is in scene. Oh, hold on. Is this it? Oh, throw away the worser part of it and live the purer with the other half. Good night. But go not to my uncle's bed. No, he's talking to his mother, the queen. Where does he say to be or not to be? Does anybody know that part? Where the heck is it? You know what I'll do? I got a better idea. I'm looking through the entire play to find it. Act 3, Scene 1 is what it is. I'm all the way at Scene 4, so I obviously missed it. All right, Phil, thanks for the heads up. Let's see what we got here. Act 3, here we go. Is this where he says what a... It's so funny. I haven't read this in so long. I forget. Oh, I found it, Phil. All right. To be or not to be. That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler to suffer the minds... No, see, I got to read it off the freaking page. Let's try it again, Phil. See, what's the context here? Where does it start? Okay, Hamlet walks in. He's by himself. He's pensive. To be or not to be. To be or not to be. Now, he's crazy, right? Let me just get this right, Phil. I'm trying to get ready here. He just came out of the bubble bath. All right, Phil, but when he comes out, he's kind of nuts at this point, right? I think he's kind of a little crazy. So let me give you a little crazy Hamlet. Ready? To be or not to be. 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 That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler to suffer the mind... I can't read. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or take arms against the sea of troubles, and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep, no more. I think this has got to be a super energy one, though, Phil. I don't think this is like a slow, pensive moment at all. I don't think he's like, to be or not to be. I think he's going crazy. Should I phone this in? Yeah, I think so, Phil. I think he's going to be more like, to be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. Let's do him as Christopher Walken. And then we know we'll at least get somewhere. To be or not to be, that is the question, whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against the sea of troubles, and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep, or more, and by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. Now, really, Christopher Walken is super slow. So if we were going to do it, it would be like, to be or not to be. That is the question, whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. Like, that's how Walken does it. What about if Scarface was to do Hamlet? I could see that one. He's got his AK on the back. To be or not to be? Just tell me one time, okay? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in their mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles. You ask Manny, okay? You ask Manny, he told me, he come on a bus, he says, what did they tell you? I said, I told him that I got sick, I got on the plane, I had TB. You should have told him you was a horse. That's the best line in Scarface. Scarface looks at Manny, and he says, you should have told them you were a horse, they would have let you in. Nobody ever knows that line. Everyone is like, say hello to my little friend, you know, all that stuff from Scarface. The best line in the world. You should have told them you were a horse. They would have let you in. Scarface. Just should have told them you was a horse. They would have let you in. Like, what? Brilliant. Let's see. Michael's got another one over here. Michael played Toto in The Wizard of Oz, which is great. It sounded like Jerry Lee Lewis there for a minute. Oh, really? Oh, Jerry Lee Lewis. Yeah, sometimes. Listen, I'll tell you what. Anybody want me to try Jerry Lee Lewis? How does he sound? Let me see. Wow. He was a little wacky. Anyway, so Hamlet, to be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them. To die, to sleep, no more. And by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh heirs to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished, to die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come? When we have shuffled off the mortal coil, must give us pause. There's a respect that makes calamity of so long a life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time? The oppressor's wrong? The proud man's consummately, I don't know what that word is, contumely? What is that word, Phil? The pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolent of office, and the spurns, the patient merit of unworthy takes. When he himself might his quietus make with a bear bodkin, who would Fairdale's bear? Who is Fairdale's? I don't know, but he would bear it. This is what you do with Shakespeare. You just read it as it is, and then whatever it is, it is. To grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, that undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of. Thus, conscience does make cowards of us all. And thus the native hue of resolution is sickled over with pale cast of thought. in enterprises of great pitch and moment, with this regard, with currents turn awry, and lose the name of action. Soft you now, the fair Ophelia, nymph, in thy horizons, be all my sins remembered. And then I guess that's when she enters. That's a real-time read of Hamlet. Like I said, I don't know the play, but I can take anything and just kind of read it, and then it may sound okay. I'm just reading words, essentially. Let's see. Let's just pick something else out of the hat here. What's this? The player king. Who's the player king? No, go with someone we actually know, like Polonius. My lord, he's going to make his mother's closet. Behind me, or else I'll convey myself to hear the princess. I'll warrant she tacks him home. And as you said, and wisely was it said, 'tis meet that some more audience than a mother, since nature makes them partial, should o'erhear the speech advantage. Fare you well, my liege. I'll call upon you ere you go to bed, and tell you what I know. That's Polonius! Jeff, what's up, my brother? I don't know what Polonius sounds like, but I'm just doing them that way. And how's the king sound? Oh, my offence is rank. It smells to heaven. It hath the primal Elvis cursed upon it. A brother's murder. Pray, can I not? Though inclination be as sharp as will, my stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. And like a man to double business bound, I stand and pause where I shall first begin and both neglect. I want to do a Shakespeare set. Guys, what if I started another show called Real Talk and Shakespeare? Shakespeare Talk. We're going to just do a Shakespeare play. I'll read every part as a character, and we'll just go down the line, right? We got Hamlet down. Hamlet was just me, but Polonius would be like, you constrate. Look, you lay him home now and tell him his pranks have been too broad to bear with. I don't even know who that is, but I'm doing them. And the queen. What does the queen's got to be like? I got to come up with a woman's voice for that one. Phil, you want to play the queen? Maybe you can get one of those voice modulators. So when I go to the queen part, she'll be like, alas, he's mad. The ghost. Whoa. Where's the ghost again? I just saw him. I want to tell you what his line was. What's your line, ghost? I lost it. I don't know how I got onto Hamlet. That's Phil's fault. Phil, you're pulling me into Hamlet over here? So anyway, we got a little bit of Hamlet in there for some reason. And that happened. I'm going to play you guys a quick song, okay? But seriously, we just did Hamlet and Shakespeare for like 15 minutes. And honestly, this is what I know, guys. This one I do know. I actually played the part, so I remember all the lines. It's funny, I used to sit backstage, and while everybody else was on stage doing their parts, I would be in the back with other cast members, and we would be doing their lines. So we all knew each other's lines. We were so in love with this production, and our hearts were in it. So while we did it, we really just memorized all of each other's lines. Like, I had Lady Capulet's lines down. I'd be saying them, like mouthing them as she was doing them on stage. And it was really awesome. It was a lot of fun. It was probably one of the highlights of my younger life as an actor, was to be on stage with people who really enjoyed being on stage and putting on a good show. There's a lot of responsibility being the lead, and it hurts a lot at the end when you come to that. Look, this went into a box for 30 years. Not really, 20 years. I didn't even look. I found this like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, like a month ago. I was like, I'm bringing this in. We're going to read some Shakespeare at some point. And then this story, I mean, I've done a couple, but this is a cool play, guys. If you've never read it, everybody's seen the movies. Read the book. Read the play. So we had some news. I think what it's time for, guys. See what happens here is I'm not set up properly. Let me do this. This is what we do. You guys get to see how I work. Check this out. Bam. That's gone. Now this one, this guy is going to go over here. Watch this. Look at that. You see that? This guy goes down. Oh, you're supposed to stay there, bud. Like that. There we go. This guy comes all the way up like this. How's that? That looks pretty good right there. All-American in 74. That's my gag. I always say that to my kids. Whenever my kids are like, oh, Daddy, do you know how to do that? I'm like, yeah, I was on the Olympic team. Are you kidding me? What, are you kidding me? Hold on, let's do this. Is that it? All right, that's good. Now we bring this here. No. This is all real-time stuff, guys. It's not supposed to do that. There we go. All right, now we got it. See, the Real Talk logo goes there. Beat seat there. Actually, maybe I'll put this up here because it's a little confusing with all those beat seats down there, isn't it? No, I'm going to put it back. All right, there we go. So check this out, guys. It's beat seat time. Now that we got it figured out. And I'm not sure what I'm going to play for you. Let's get into it, though. Let's do something. Because I've been on way too long, 52 minutes. And I've got a call to take in 45 minutes to try to salvage something. All right, so let's see what we got. Okay, are we live here? Are we live? I think we're live. I think I got to get the volume of this up a little more. All right, I think we're good. I think we're good? Yeah, we're good. We're good. So I got two beat seats here today. This is a drummer version, mahogany, hickory face. This is my personal super duper mahogany and flame maple model, which nobody's ever going to get to own, just me. It's a personal model. Built it for myself. Extra wood from the custom job that we had done 2 weeks ago. Guys, got to get your orders in for beat seats or you're going to be in line. I'm just saying, you're going to be in line. Let me just tune this pup. Love me 2 times, baby. Love me twice today. Love me 2 times, girl. I'm blown away. Love me 2 times, girl. One for tomorrow, one just for today. Love me 2 times, and I'm blown away. Love me 1 time, could not speak. Love me 2 times, my knees gone weak. Love me 2 times, girl. Last me all through the week. Love me 2 times, and I'm blown away. Love me 2 times, oh, and I'm blown away. This is really bad. Took this thing out of tune.
Try to make it by, where wrong won't make it right. When you only get one life, you won't blink and miss the ride. I'm finally grown up. I'm finally grown up. Growing up. I'm finally growing up. Time keeps rolling by. Billion years after we die, you only get one life. You won't blink and miss the ride. I'm finally grown up. I'm finally grown up. Growing up. I'm finally grown up. Growing up. I'm finally grown up. All of my childish ways are leading me through my newborn baby's eyes. Teaches me treasure all my days. Look at me, I'm growing up. I'm finally grown up. I'm growing up. I'm growing up. I'm finally grown up. I'm finally growing up. I'm finally grown up. I'm finally growing up. I'm finally growing up. I'm finally growing up.
Play you one more quick tune and then call it a day.
got another song. I got another song within me.
I don't know. I'm gonna work on that though. Just that rhythm. We'll get something going on at some point. All right, final tune, guys. This is gonna be a beatsy tune. I'm having trouble getting my feet to stick on this ground here. So what's happening is my feet are sliding off. I need a little bit more traction on these sneakers here. This is how it should sound. This is called I Adore You. Out the audio here because the vocals seem low. Oh, almost knocked that over. Is it me or the vocals really low? You guys have to let me know. Phil, you are the man for continuing to add to the program, my friend. So we've been on for officially an hour and 5 minutes and 55 seconds right now. That's a good thing. 555. Those are lucky numbers right there. So I'm hoping those lucky numbers will push me towards some positivity today and tomorrow. And guys, for you too, this is the beginning of a 5-day stretch where you need to go and get the most of it. Go create some positive action, momentum. It starts with you. It starts with you, inside of you. You got to find the inspiration within yourself, first and foremost. So I appreciate you guys. I am very much looking forward to tomorrow's episode. Day 359, 379. Holy cow. We're getting closer and closer to 400 days, guys. Looking forward to tomorrow. I'll see you. Shoot those topics over. It's Mark Pyers. And it's Real Talk.